Welcome to A Meaningful Marketplace.
I'm Sarah Massoni from Oregon State University's Food Innovation Center, where I've helped countless dreamers launch their new food products. It's the science of taking a food delight from the kitchen to mass manufacturing and still keeping its great taste. That's what I do. I've been called the woman with the $1 million palate, although I haven't tried to cash that check yet. Listen in weekly for real-life stories.
I'm Sarah Marshall, owner of Marshall's Hot Sauce and author of Preservation Pantry, modern canning from root to top and stem to core. I love inspiring business owners to get started on their journey, encourage folks to be part of their local community, and I'm excited to help business owners tell their stories. Hello and welcome to the Meaningful Marketplace. We are here weekly to discuss the journeys of food entrepreneurs. We're glad you've joined us today as we bring you stories of hope and inspiration. This is Sarah Marshall, owner of Marshall's Hot Sauce.
And Sarah Massoni of Oregon State University's Food Innovation Center. Hi, Mrs. Sarah.
Hi, Sarah. I'm super excited to be sitting across from you today. It's so weird.
It's fun.
People can't tell, but we're both at the Food Innovation Center today, which is a change for us. Sometimes we get lucky enough to be in the same room, so that just feels extra special.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Do you want to tell people about the cool event you held here today and why we're together?
Yeah, we had a buyer maker event today. We hosted the Made in Oregon team of buyers, and they got to meet with about 40 producers from around the state that made appointments to come and meet with them. So we had 4 buyer tables, and every hour we had 12 people in the room. So there was a changeover 3 times in an hour. So it was great. And we had folks come in, they got their portrait taken with their product and then also a product shot.
Yeah.
So they'll get some IP from it.
Super cool. It was a great event, on the opposite side of it as a vendor. It was great to come in and be able to meet with buyers and have everything all set up, have pictures taken of both ourselves and our product and have everything all ready. And we had 2 minutes to pitch, which was really cool. So we came prepared. I made snacks, which I like to do to show people how you can cook with our sauces. And I had a great time. It was a fun event. Got to see some other buddies, and thanks for putting it on. It was really nice.
Sure. The energy is so exciting from the morning till the afternoon. People are just excited to be getting to meet with a buyer.
Yeah, and I hope it inspires other people to do things of the same nature. It doesn't have to be an innovation center. It could be anybody putting on that kind of event. Grocery stores could do the same. But it is a nice way to just get a lot of people in at once and meet with those buyers because it's sometimes hard to connect directly.
Even the buyers said they have a hard time sometimes finding the people.
Yeah,
so.
Finding small businesses especially.
Yeah.
Yeah, so thanks for putting it on. We had a great time.
Yeah, it's a win.
And we've been partnering with the Regional Food Business Center to bring guests from our 6-state region. We're currently meeting with business owners from the great state of Idaho. I'd like to welcome our co-host back again, Doctor Janna Hamlett. She is the food processing specialist in Twin Falls. Welcome, Janna.
Thank you. Nice talking with you, Sarah and Sarah, today.
We're glad you could meet with us even though you're on the road. You want to tell people what you're at today?
So this is getting recorded the end of July. So it's the annual meeting of the International Association of Food Protection, IAFP. So I'm actually I've got my little video so nobody can see it on right now, but in Cleveland, Ohio. That's where I'm at today.
That's exciting.
Cool. Well, thanks for joining us, even though you're a busy lady.
No worries. It started raining a little while ago, and now there's lightning, and
Ooh.
They've got a baseball game that's supposed to be going, so that may or may not work.
To be decided whether it will happen. Well, we would like to encourage you to connect with your state by signing up for the Regional Food Business Center newsletter. It's a breeze to sign up. Just go to Northwest Rocky Mountain RegionalFoodBusinessCenter.com, hit connect with us, and choose the button to receive newsletters. We want to thank our sponsor for supporting the Meaningful Marketplace. Thank you for helping us spread the word about small business owners and entrepreneurs. Let's hear a word from our sponsor. The Northwest and Rocky Mountain Regional Food Business Center is the proud sponsor of the Meaningful Marketplace podcast, giving a voice to food from across the 6-state region of Colorado, Idaho, Montana, Oregon, Washington, and Wyoming. The Food Business Center supports Northwest and Rocky Mountain food industry makers as part of the USDA's National Network of Food Business Centers, supporting a more resilient, diverse, and competitive food system as a go-to source for small and mid-tier food and farm businesses with a focus on underserved communities, providing education in the form of technical knowledge, business programs, and industry news. We sponsor trade shows, meetups, and conferences to connect growers, producers, retailers, distributors, and processors, all to stimulate business and raise the standards of our storied food industry. Join us as we travel through the 6-state region, learning more about food makers, food hubs, and food systems. Visit the website at Northwest Rocky Mountain Regional Food Businesses.com to get connected. And we would like to introduce you to Bryan. He's the executive director of the Idaho Innovation Center, a business incubator providing resources for small companies in Idaho Falls. We're delighted to have you on the show today, Bryan, and we like to connect our listeners and give them a place to find you. What's the best way to find your center on social media and online?
There's all three websites. The innovateidaho.org is my main website. From there, you can get to the Idaho Commercial Kitchen from there, or just go to idahocommercialkitchen.com. Or the other one we'll be talking about today is Yellowstone Food Village, is our food truck village, and it's yellowstonefoodvillage.com. So those you can go to Innovate Idaho and be led to there, or you can go to each one individually, whichever one.
Perfect. And we'll make sure to tag all of those places in the show notes so people can find them easily. Let's go ahead and start at the beginning. And why don't you just tell us about the Idaho Innovation Center to start and how long you've been the executive director there?
The Idaho Innovation Center has been here for about 35 years. I've been the executive director for the past 10 years. And kind of how these food places came about is that for my first couple of years, I had plenty of people that were requesting just regular office space, but I had a lot of people coming to me and asking where can they have there's an authorized kitchen, and it was one of the most requested items that we had there for the first couple of years. So I started dreaming about and started working on putting it together about 5 years ago, actually when the pandemic started. And that's when I started buying stuff for my commercial kitchen. And I guess it was a couple of years before that. I think it was after I'd been here for a couple of years. I had multiple food trucks come to me and they said, "Hey, we need a place to park. Can we park in your parking lot?" And I said, "Man, that sounds like a great idea." So I started it out with just 1 or 2 trucks, and now we're up to 7 food trucks in one little circular driveway, circular place, and it works perfect. It's kind of things we've added over the last, I guess, 7-8 years here at the Business Incubator at the Idaho Innovation Center. And we just love supporting the food. We've had some very good success stories out of there, so it's been good.
Very cool. Janna, have you been there?
No, I have not actually. So this podcast precipitated me and Bryan chatting a little bit. So I have to make a chance. I have to get over to Idaho Falls. It's a few hours from my office and visit Bryan in person. We've only talked over Zoom.
She's helped me on many of clients. She's a superstar, rock star in my business. So look forward to having her come over here. I'll buy her lunch at my village anytime she comes over.
I was going to ask you how often you eat lunch there, Bryan.
I'm a frequent offender there. I'll put it that. My wife calls probably once a week and says, "Hey, how about if you bring dinner home?" And I do that quite often. Now, I will tell you that I used to have a sushi truck here that did sushi and hibachi. That's my favorite food in the world. I will say that I will not disclose my percentage of my paycheck that went to them every month before they left.
So you got a pay raise when they left, huh, Bryan?
Yes, I did, definitely. They did open up a restaurant across town, so I will say that they're still getting my money, just not as often as they did in my parking lot.
Well, that's a good point. If you can grow businesses through the food cart program and get them into brick and mortar, that's amazing. Congratulations.
I've had 3 of them that have done that, and that is just great success stories. We've had 3 of them do it, and we're excited for that.
That's amazing.
Well, let's talk about the typical clients that work out of the commercial kitchen. Is it usually people that have food carts, or is it other businesses as well?
You know, I thought that was going to be one of my main people. or the caterers. And I would say that right now it's 10 to 15% of my business is all. The people that have used it the most often are people who are actually in farmers markets, and they need to have a bigger space to build their stuff to come through with all the. I have a couple of companies that are in multiple farmers markets, and so they come here at least once to twice a week and are preparing their stuff for the farmers markets. My ultimate client has really come about in the last 3 months, and he's designing a freeze-dried food product, and he's taken my kitchen way above the numbers that I ever had anticipated with it. And that's my ultimate client, is the people who are renting it out for 12 hours a day for weeks on a time. And it's just turned it into being extremely successful. And it looks like he's going to continue for at least another 3 to 6 months, possibly in that kind of thing. So that's the ultimate people, the people who are building a new product and needing to test it and retest it. That's the ultimate people that we would like to have in there. And thank goodness he came about 4 months ago, and it's just lit our kitchen on fire with revenue numbers that we had never seen before.
Yeah, and freeze drying they need a lot of time in there because the machines run for a long time, and we've talked to a couple of freeze dryers, freeze drying businesses that need they need a lot of time. They need a lot of kitchen time.
So how do you manage people coming and going from the kitchen? That's always what I want to know from our kitchen operators.
Yeah, we started out with a automated program that was that they registered on. Everything was through online, but it was quite expensive. They raised the price. It was not too bad for a trial start for it was only like $50 a month, but then it quadrupled it to like $200, $250. And so we have just a manual program that we use for the rest of our innovation center for the conference rooms and training rooms that we rent out. And so we've just gone to a manual that we have gone back to that just to save that expense. Basically, they can schedule it online through our website. They can sign up through our website, and then we get notified and schedule it from there. So it's a little more manual process than the CRM program that we had before, but it saves us $250 a month to do that.
Mm. And how many different types of products are made in your kitchen?
Currently, I would say 7 or 8 pretty ongoing people doing it. We have a coffee guy that he actually rents out kind of our back corner of our kitchen, and he's there 2 or 3 nights a week. And then we have mainly farmers market people that are 3 or 4 farmers market people, and then this freeze dried guy, and then some people that are just kind of here and there once or twice a month type deal.
On the business side, do you require liability insurance for your people that use the kitchen?
We do. Yeah, there's kind of 3 requirements that they've got to get to be certified in the kitchen. They have to be approved by the health department. They have to have the business liability insurance, and then they have to get a license with the city of Idaho Falls here in town, which is just a minor thing. But they have to get ServSafe certified too. But that's usually most of them that have been doing it before are already ServSafe certified. So that's another requirement.
Those are achievable, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. There's like a $200 application fee with the health department. That's a little ouchy, but otherwise it takes usually people a week to 10 days to get, everything locked in. We give them up to 2 weeks to get us the insurance. So, and if they don't want to go through those, then they have to have our kitchen manager there who is ServSafe.
Mm.
And he has to be there, and that costs them an extra $20 an hour to have him there if we do need that. But we have our workarounds. If they don't want to fulfill those, then we can have him there, and they just have to pay his time to be there.
Are most of those foods just distributed locally, or are some of them getting shipped out around the state?
Most of them are local. This guy that's doing this freeze dry, he's a big time mover and shaker. He's had some big, large companies. He's currently got over $1 million of product pre-sold.
Whoa.
Once he gets everything, his packaging and everything ready to go. We installed a walk-in freezer for him today in there.
Wow.
Anyway, he's a big mover and a shaker, and he's already building $1 million plus plant. But luckily, it's going to take him 6 months to a year to probably get that up and going. And so we've got him here for a little bit. So he's already pre-sold, over $1 million worth of these freeze-dried products to Disney and some other companies. So.
Wow, that's amazing.
And I noticed that you also teach business classes to help some of your clients too. Can you talk about some of those that you teach at the center?
We have the Small Business Development Center here that is located here, and we do all of our coaching, business coaching and classes are run through the SBDC. We've kind of narrowed our popular classes down to the QuickBooks class. We do that class twice a year. We do a sales, how to increase sales, and it's a real sales techniques kind of class. We do that once a year. We have a leadership class that we do. We have online marketing, how to properly present your business online. We actually do that class like the QuickBooks twice a year. So we have a plethora of classes. We also offer cooking classes in our kitchen. Our kitchen manager is a chef and a caterer, and we've had pretty good success with cooking classes in our kitchen as well. We're actually working on a partnership with the college here in town, and we've got them they're wanting to come over here and do a bunch of college cooking classes here as well. So we're looking at putting that together starting this fall.
Very cool. You offer so many services for your community. I think that's all really wonderful.
It is. It's been pretty successful. So,
if you were going to start a food business, what would your food be?
Sushi.
Dude, okay, the niche.
That's my favorite. But here in Eastern Idaho, I can tell you just with the variety of people we have in our food village, that what the hungry Idahoans like is a good burger and good potatoes. So
I was going to say, is it potatoes?
They got to have the spuds here in Eastern Idaho. That's what we're most famous for. And man, they're all just we're right kind of in the epicenter here of the potato parts of the state. I can tell you that one of the most unique idea that I've had come to me, I haven't had it come here yet, but was a potato truck, a spud truck, that they could get either a baked potato with multiple toppings on it, or they had French fries, tater tots. I mean, they were going to do everything spuds, potato oriented. And I've had a couple people come and say they were going to do it, but I haven't had one that's actually pulled the trigger on it. But I think that would be a great one.
Tater tot nachos are so good.
Yes.
Tachos.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to take a quick break, and we come back. Let's talk about the Yellowstone Food Village and talk about who's in that village. We'll be right back.
Oregon State University's College of Agricultural Sciences and the Food Innovation Center are proud sponsors of Meaningful Marketplace. With a mission to serve all Oregonians, we are committed to giving voice to those whose food and agricultural stories are not always heard. By providing access and opportunity for a more diverse and just food system, because food brings people together. Okay, you said there are 7 trucks in the Yellowstone Food Village. Who are they?
The most common one was, of course, the Mexican. So we have 3 Mexican food trucks, and then we have 2 American, the American Grub and Flavor Factory, and then we have a Thai place. So yeah, we've got, and pizza. Oh, the pizza. Sorry, I forgot the pizza. We got a new pizza guy that moved here from Oregon. And so, yeah, so pizza, Thai, 2 American places, and then 3 Mexican.
Nice for
And the Mexican are all just a little bit different. One's a traditional, burritos, tacos, beans, and rice. And then the other one's called Tortas Locas, and they do a little more of the just larger burritos. And then there's the Diaz Cafe, and they do everything from breakfast. They're not the standard. They have kind of a unique menu and have done really well too.
So
they're just a little bit different.
Do they have special beverages too?
All of the trucks will have, the waters and the sodas, but the Mexican trucks have their specialty drinks as well. So
that's good. It's yummy.
Yeah. The first Mexican truck that we had here, and he's one that went and opened up a restaurant just a couple miles away from here that's turned out to be extremely successful. And he would come back. He actually wants to get his food truck back up and going, but I've capped my location at 3 Mexican, and they, unless one of them leave, I can't have him come back. But
tell him he could open up across the street.
Yeah, exactly. He could. But he was my most successful food truck that He literally had people lined up before he opened at 11 o'clock, and there was times at 9 o'clock at night he still had people coming in. And besides him and the sushi guy that left to open up the restaurant, those two have been the most popular as far as just constant traffic from before they open till at night most days.
Okay, so you've been watching and studying. What is it that those two trucks did differently that made them have those lines around the block, in your opinion?
In my opinion, it's by offering the complete meal. Like I said, this guy, he opened up a Mexican restaurant, and the guy that took his place has probably been would be the third one. He's taken him a little time to build up to his audience. He's been here for now 5 years. He's constant between 11 and 8 at night usually. This other guy literally had people lined up an hour before he would open some days. He gave, I think, a little more quantity of his food, and that's what brought a lot of people back too. And the hibachi sushi guy, he was another one that was constant from 11 to 8 plus, and later. There's some nights he was still open at 10 o'clock because he was just so popular. So I think it's offering a little more of a complete meal. The others have real good packages, but these guys would offer a complete meal, and I think that was one thing that really helped these guys out.
Making me hungry.
What is your what's your favorite thing about helping entrepreneurs get their businesses going and off the ground and successful?
For the food people, it's getting them the success stories of opening the restaurants. I sold my business about 15 years ago, and since then I've been just doing a lot of business consulting. And where I just love it is helping coach and get people to the next level of their business. And I've been able to assist in the selling of a few of the businesses once they get them to that level, and helping them get to a certain level that they can possibly sell. That's my passion. Is to there's been some companies that I've worked with here, being here at the Innovation Center for 10 years. There's a couple businesses that I've worked with for almost 9 years every week that they've been in existence, and that's been a great win to just see how they've gone from $100,000 annual revenue to over $1 million revenue in that time frame. And to see there's probably, I think there's 7 or 8 people that I meet with like that on a weekly basis and help coach them. And every day we're working on what they can do to grow their business and setting challenges for them.
So Bryan, give us the top 5 things that somebody who wants to sell their business needs to do.
Let's see. I don't know if I can name all 5 in a row, but I can tell you number 1 is when I had my business, the part that allowed me to sell out for a good 7-digit number and be able to take some time off in life was to have a business coach, to have someone holding you accountable. And owners think that they have all the answers, but they don't. When you get someone else's opinion, that's when it takes your business to the next level.
Yeah.
Another thing that is to run your business by your financials. If you run it by the amount of just as long as there's money in the bank account, you will never, never, never be successful like you can if you run it with and pay attention to your financials and worry about growth numbers. That's the biggest thing that I've seen is successful. Another item would be having structured meetings. There's a book out there that's called Traction, and it's put on by a system that's called Entrepreneurial Operating System, EOS. And over the last couple of years, I've really applied that principle, and I've actually been teaching. We have some classes here, and to implement the strategies that these $1 million plus businesses are, and getting people started at them at a under $1 million, and then seeing their growth patterns and how they can really grow has been another big success. And the structure of having the structure of like an EOS program that is like a consultant, in there that you've implemented them. Another thing that I found is successful is being all about networking. If you can be focused on networking and focused on always bringing new clients into your business, that's how you'll be successful. If you sit back and just think that your Google listing is going to get you, or that phone call is going to ring, you will be out of business. And if you don't have goals and stretching yourself to get out there and network with new people in the community, you'll never be successful.
There you did 5. Good job.
Good.
Boom.
Yay.
Those are good ones.
Yeah.
I think having a person that is there with you a little bit outside of your business, but sort of leading you through some of those conversations that you need to have where you can bounce things off of them is really critical for a successful business person.
Yeah. And there's a lot of coaches out there that you can hire, but some of them are pretty expensive. The EOS program is pretty expensive, but there's also the SBDCs that you can go and get free help at. And
Yeah.
there is no charge to get it. And every state has an SBDC office as well. So you can get the free help. And I'm doing all my coaching under that. I never charge for any of my consulting that I do. And I've been doing it with some of these companies for 7 years. So.
Yeah. And we have a great SBDC in Portland that does food coaching.
Do they really? Good?
Yeah. Yeah. It's been really successful.
Another thing to also think about is not trying to do absolutely everything yourself. A lot of small businesses, they don't have a lot of the capital, so they try to do so much by themselves. But if you're everything, you're going to get burned out. And some things that could be done better are not going to, because maybe that's just not your skill set. Maybe that's not where you can do the most benefits. And so being very realistic of what is your skill set and what can you do awesome, and then be able to find with networking with the SBA or the SBDC or asking other small businesses, what can somebody else maybe help you out to do.
There's a book called Who Not How by Dan Sullivan that talks about that. You're supposed to hire people that know how to do the things you need done.
And that you just don't have that skill set. There's a very rare people that can do absolutely everything when it comes to a food business. And so finding the folks that have that skill that can propel you is helpful.
Teamwork definitely accelerates business.
I think that's all good advice for people, for sure. We'll tag those things you guys mentioned in the show notes so people can access them later. Any advice you have for people that are dreaming up a business right now?
I will throw a couple things out there that I'm extremely passionate about. One of the things I do a lot of accountability coaching with these entrepreneurs to get them every week to a new level. And if people haven't read a couple of these books, I'm just going to throw a couple challenges out there these are a couple books that I've found to be ultimately successful in business. The first one, you probably talked about it many times on the show, and I'm sure Janna knows about it as well. It's called The E-Myth. And it's by Michael Gerber. It's called The E-Myth Revisited is the new version. And this book the revisited version's been out for, I think, 15 years. And so it's not a lot of new principles, but that book the E stands for entrepreneur. And if you have not read that book is the Bible of what I call Bible for business. It has the principles. If you want to be a successful entrepreneur, that is the first principles that everybody in business should entertain. It talks about 3 different principles, 3 different levels of being in business. You got to be the technician. And then once you're the technician, then you can be a manager and hire a technician. And then the next one is to be the CEO of your company. And that's where you have growth. And it's a simple read, but it is just crucial for you to understand the processes of documenting. You can't pass on to one job till you've documented everything that you hand the book to the person that's replacing you in each position. Just a great book. The next one would be, I've had companies that have turned from $1 million companies into 5 to 7, 18 million, one company, by introducing the principles of the book called Traction. It's by Gino Wickman. It's all about the EOS, which is the Entrepreneurial Operating System. If you're under $1 million and want to get to that over $1 million, the principles that you'll learn in the book Traction are what's going to catapult you there. Not just it's not a slow process. It will catapult you into multi-million-dollar type sales. It's that good of principles.
So Traction first,
yes.
And then E-Myth Revisited.
E-Myth first for if you're under $1 million, and then once you apply the principles of the E-Myth, then you can apply the Traction.
Oh, okay. Thanks for clarifying.
And we'll make sure to put those books in the show notes so people can check them out if they want. We always like to give people reference materials in case they want to do their own research. And we also always love to encourage people to have coaches. I always think that's the best thing, and continuing to learn no matter where you are in the journey. I think that's a great thing to do.
Coaches need coaches. Bryan, who's your coach?
The guy that was my coach when I used to have 20 Verizon stores back in the day. I sold in 2009, and the guy that helped me it doubled my company. I still refer. He's still a good friend. We were business partners for a couple of years after that, doing some business consulting, and I still rely on him to do it. And I have some other mentors in the SBDC system here in the state of Idaho that is good mentors for me as well.
Janna, do you have a mentor?
Well, so mine I think are a little different because I used to be in industry, large scale food manufacturing before. So I think more of my mentors are in that area than necessarily in the growing of small businesses. But I also, like Bryan said, work with SBA and SBDC quite a bit to help out and recommend Bryan for that kind of understanding of the small business roadmap kind of a conversation.
And I'm going right back to her because she's a superstar in mine. I have referred to her multiple times just in the last few months. So she's got that doctorate degree that I will never have. So,
do you help people outside of Idaho, or are you just Idaho centric?
Yeah, we help people. Our areas kind of expand into the Jackson Hole area over into Wyoming. But I still have some contacts that I'm working with. When I did my consulting, did a lot in Utah. So I still keep in touch with a lot of the contacts that I have down in Utah, but 95% of them are here in eastern Idaho.
Janna, you're in Cleveland. Are you networking to bring in business from across the country for you in Idaho?
I don't know that this is that kind of a conference. This is more of updates and of course, yes, networking to chat with each other on like grant opportunities and to help place students from academia into internships and things like that. So not so much trying to bring companies to Idaho or bring work to Idaho, but be able to provide, hey, I know a person that you should talk to.
Connecting people. It's always important too. Well, I think it's time for us to wrap it up, everybody, unless anybody has any final thoughts.
Sarah, you're awesome. This is a great program you do. So thank you for taking the time to interview me. And Janna, this is great. So.
Thanks for being a guest.
Yeah, thanks everybody. And thanks to our listeners. You can show some love for our show if you want to review us on Apple Podcasts or iTunes. You can also follow us on Instagram and YouTube at Meaningful Marketplace Podcast. You can call or text Sarah and I with questions at 503-395-8858. And we couldn't do this without our fantastic team at Joy of Creation Production House. Thanks to Dave, our production coordinator, and Haley, our audio engineer. And we'll be back next week. Thanks for joining, everybody. Bye.
Bye for now.